So these units which is called as branches, and the main office or the main business concern is called as head office. So by ascertaining the financial position of each and every branch, so we'll come to know what is the actual progress of each branch, where for each and everything this branch is totally dependent on head office. In the debit side, you'll record the opening balance of debtors. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysore. Today we are in the first session of Unit 2, that is branch accounts. So my dear students, in our previous unit you have studied about joint venture. Let us see what is this branch accounts is all about. So let us say what is the meaning of branch account. Before that, I'll tell you what is this branch account is all about. So when the business starts expanding, or if the organization want to sell its product all over the world, during that situation, so what they will do, they will open the branches in different territory of the country or in the different places of the world. So that is known as what? That smaller units which they have opened in order to increase the sales or in order to expand the business. So that smaller units which is opened all over the territory is known as branches. So let us see what is this branch accounting. So in order to increase the sales, of course I have told you, in order to increase the sales of the organization, business houses are required to market their products. Of course, in order to increase their sales, of course, they have to market their product. But sitting at one place, it is quite difficult for an organization to market their products. So what they will do? So they will open a new office or new branch among the or in the territory of the country. That small unit is called as branch. So required to market their products over a large territory and may generally split their business into certain divisions or parts. Now here, for example, there is a business. So there is a organization, and in order to expand or in order to increase the sales of that particular business in the different places, so they might open different branches or different units which is called as branches. So these units which is called as branches, and the main office or the main business concern is called as head office, and all other smaller units are called as branches. Now if you see the picture itself, here the main office is the head office and it is having all the branches all over the world. So here the head office is having different branches, that is different territory or different units all over the territory, which is called as branches. So we are preparing accounts of each branch here. So in order to know what is the financial position of each branch, so we have to prepare accounts of each branch. So that is known as branch accounting. Hope you have understood the meaning of branch as well as what is this branch accounting and why the business is going to open a branch in the different parts of the country. So a branch is a segment of the business. In the sense, it is a part of the business. So here this unit is a part of this main business. So it is a segment of the business. So it is a chain of shops functioning in different locality under the control of head office. So I have already told you the main office is called as head office. So here the control of all these branch will be in the hands of head office. The system of operating business at several places through one own establishment is called as branch organization. Now, these organizations are controlled by one office, that is head office. So, these organization which is controlled by the main office is called as branch organization. Branch accounts are accounts relating to different branches and are used to ascertain the trading result of each branch separately. Now, what is this branch accounting? That is the accounting result of all individual branch. So, we are not going to take the whole business in one. So, we are going to ascertain individual branch financial position. So, when we prepare accounts for each and every branch, we'll come to know what is the financial position of each and every branch. So, this is all about the meaning of branch accounting. So, the process of preparing accounts of individual branch is called as branch accounting. Now let us see what are the objectives of branch accounting. The various objectives of maintaining branch accounts are, so the first one is what? To ascertain the profit or loss of each branch. Of course, I have told you we are going to prepare branch accounts or accounts for each and every branch. So why we are maintaining that? In order to ascertain the profit or loss, or in order to know what is the financial position of each and every branch. Next, to ascertain the financial position. Of course, we have ascertained the profit and loss by preparing trading profit and loss account. Next, we have to know what is the actual financial position. So, whether the branch is running in profit or loss. So, what is the value of assets and liability of each and every branch? So, individual accounts has to be prepared for each and every branch in order to know the financial position. And the next one is to help in controlling branches. So, after preparing accounts, we'll come to know which branch has to be controlled. So, what is the drawback of branch? So, why the profit is not earning in that particular branch? So, a control, or here the head office can control over the branch. Next, to access the progress and performance of each branch. So, by ascertaining the financial position of each and every branch, so we'll come to know what is the actual progress of each branch. So, whether the branch is being progressed or not. So, when you compare from year to year or from one branch to other branch, which branch is very progressed branch? So, and why the other branches are lagging behind. So, we'll come to know what is the progress and performance of each and every branch. And the next one is to ascertain the requirements of stock and cash of each branch. Of course, in order to run the business activity, the stock or the goods as well as the cash requirement is more. So, this head office will come to know what is the actual cash requirement as well as stock requirement of each and every branch. And the next one is to ascertain whether the branch should be expanded or closed. So, based on the performance of each and every branch, so we'll come to know what is the actual result of each and every branch. So that the head office will think of expansion or whether it has to be closed. So, if the branch is not performing well, of course, it has to be closed. So, if the branch is performing well, then we have to think about the expansion of that particular branch. So, through this branch accounting, so we'll come to know the actual results of accounts, so that here the head office can decide whether it has to be closed or whether it has to be expanded. So, these are the certain objectives of branch accounting. Now, let us see what are the types of branch. So, here there are three types of branches. So, the first one is dependent branch. Now, what is this dependent branch? Here, this branch is dependent on the head office for each and everything. So, it may be expenses or it may be the cash what is required in the organization or the goods which is required in the organization. So, here it is dependent on whom? On the head office. So, here dependent branches is nothing but what? Here the word itself says that dependent branches is nothing but the branch which is dependent on head office. So, here each and every expenses or the income, so whatever the income which is earned in the branch, so it has to be given to the head office. In the same way, what are the expenses which is incurred in the branch, it has to be given by the head office. So, we are going to solve problem, or for your or in your syllabus, we are going to solve problem on dependent branches. That is, it is dependent on head office. So, here we have to prepare in the books of head office. So, we have to prepare branch account in the books of head office, because in your syllabus, we are going to study about dependent branches, where for each and everything, this branch is totally dependent on head office. And the second type is independent branch. Branch keeping full system of accounting. Here, the branch is not dependent on head office. So, independently, they are maintaining their books of accounts. So, whatever the expenses, income, everything will be there in the independent branch itself. So, it is not dependent on head office. So, here a separate books of account has to be maintained by the independent branch. And the next one is foreign branches. So the branches which is situated in the foreign country are called as foreign branches. So these are the three types of branches. Hope you have understood the three types. Dependent branch, which is dependent on head office. Independent branch, which is independent, which is not dependent on head office. And the next one is foreign branches. Next, we shall see what is this dependent branches. So I have told you dependent branches is nothing but they are totally dependent on the head office. So for each and every expenses or the income they are going to earn, so that has to be given to the head office. So they are totally dependent on the head office. So dependent branches are branches which don't maintain its own set of books. So they will not maintain their own set of books. So here who will maintain the accounts? Head office will maintain the accounts. All records have to be maintained by head office. Of course, since it is dependent on a head office, so here the head office will maintain the books of account of the branches. The following are the features of such a branch. Let us see what are the features of dependent branches. So now we have come to know what is the meaning of dependent branches. So they will depend on the head office and they will not maintain a separate books of account. Here the books of account is maintained by whom? By the head office. So if you see the features, so the first feature is these branches sell only such goods which are supplied by the head office. So whatever the goods which is supplied by the head office, so that goods only will be sold by the branches. As I told, it is dependent on head office, so it has to listen to the words of head office. So whatever the goods which is being supplied by the head office, so such goods will be distributed to whom? That goods will be distributed to the customers. And the next one is the head office pays all the branch expenses. So whatever the expenses which is incurred in dependent branch will be borne by whom? By the head office. So here the branch will not independently incur all these expenses. So these expenses has to be given by whom? By the head office. Next is the branch manager out of petty cash pays some petty expenses. Now what happens here under branch or dependent branch accounting? So here the petty expenses or the petty cash book works on impress system. So it works on impressed system. So you might have heard about impress system. So what do you mean by impress system? Here sum of money or a bulk sum of money will be given at the beginning of each and every month to the petty cashier. So here a bulk of money will be given to the petty cashier and the petty cashier has to see through that all the small expenses that is petty expenses will be incurred from that impressed amount. So using this impressed amount, so the petty cashier has to incur all the petty expenses of the organization. In the same way, in branch accounts or the independent branch also, here the branch manager will be given some amount as impressed amount and branch manager has to see through that. Using that impressed amount, he has to incur all the petty expenses of that particular month. So here the branch manager out of petty cash pays some petty expenses. So here for that also the impressed amount will be given by the head office. Here the fourth point tells that, so whatever the amount which is earned in the branch should be deposited immediately to the head office. So that is account opened in the head office. As I told, the expenses which is incurred by the branch will be given by the head office. In the same way, whatever the income which is earned in the branch should be given to the head office by depositing the amount in the bank account of head office. Next, sales are generally made on cash basis, but some branches are authorized to do the sales on credit basis also. So most of the time the sales of branch or dependent branch will be on cash basis, but some head office has given authorized to the branches or some head office have given permission to the branches to undertake sales activity on credit basis also. But most of the time they will take transactions on cash basis, that is the branch account will conduct sales on cash basis. Next, branches keep only some memorandum records. So here all the control will be in the hands of head office and only some accounts will be in the hands of this branches. That is only some memorandum records will be in the hands of branch. So this is all about the features of dependent branches. Now moving on to the format of this branch account. So how we are going to prepare branch account? That is, we have to prepare branch account in the books of head office. So in the books of head office, we are going to prepare branch account. So this is a format of branch account, that is format of branch account in the books of head office. So let us see what is the format. Particulars, amount, particulars and amount. Now first what we are going to record in branch account, that is in the books of head office. First we will record the opening balance, that is to opening balance what they have given in the question. We have to record all the opening balance, that is stock, debtors or petty cash. So any of the opening balance. And the second step is by bank account, that is the amount which is paid to the head office. So here the amount can be paid in the form of cash or cash from debtors. So we have to record this cash sales or cash from debtors. So this is your second point, that is amount paid to the head office. Next, third is to goods sent to branch, that is the goods which is sent by the head office to branch, we have to record in the debit side. In the same way, coming to the credit side, goods returned from branch. So this is your fourth step, that is goods sent to branch, here goods returned from branch. And the next is we have to record the closing balance. So we have to record the closing balance. So whatever the opening balance are there, same should be the closing balance, but the amount differs. So closing balance. Next, we have to record if any expenses which is met by the branch. So if any expenses is met by the branch, so we have to record it as to bank account. So we will record all the expenses in the inner column and write the amount in the outer column. Next, what you have to do here, see that by goods returned from branch. So we have to record this entry once again as to goods returned from branch. Here we are going to record it as cost plus invoice price. We are going to record in cost plus invoice price. In the same way, the closing stock has to be written as to stock reserve. That is, we have to calculate on cost plus invoice price. That is, we are going to prepare a stock reserve, that is to stock reserve. We are going to transfer to stock reserve. Which one? This closing balance of stock. So we have to take into consideration closing balance of stock. Next, we are going to transfer here, that is whatever which is there in the debit side. So we have to take it as by stock reserve, that is of opening stock. So we have to take this opening stock as by stock reserve. So here also we are going to take cost plus invoice price on opening stock. Next, to goods sent to branch. So we have to take it as by goods sent to branch. We have to consider cost plus invoice price. So we have to record that amount. And if there is any further consignment, so we have to record here, that is further consignment. So that also we have to transfer it as by further consignment cost plus invoice price. So this is how we are going to maintain a branch account. So what you have to take into consideration, first take the opening balance, next cash paid from branch to head office, that is the second one. Next, goods sent to branch and goods returned from branch. Next, record the closing balance, right, if any expenses is met by the branch. Next, record this reverse entries, that is goods returned from branch, you have to write cost plus invoice price. Next, to stock reserve on closing stock. In the same way, by stock reserve on opening stock, then by goods sent to branch. That is whatever which is recorded in the debit side. Next, if there is any further consignment, we have to record on cost plus invoice price, and the balancing figure of both the side will be either net profit or net loss. So if the debit side is more than credit side, then it is what? Balancing figure is net loss. In the same way, if the credit side is more than debit side, then it is net profit. So this would be the balancing figure. So this is how we are going to prepare the branch accounts. Now we shall see what is the format of total debtors account. So what is the format of total debtors account? So here also in the debit side, you will record the opening balance of debtors, and if there is any credit sales. So they will give in the question opening balance as well as credit sales. Whereas in the credit side, so cash received from debtors. So if there is any cash received from debtors, record in the credit side. Next, by goods returned to customers. Next, by discount allowed to customer. This is goods returned from customers. Then discount allowed to customers. Then if there is any bad debts, you will record that, and the balancing figure will be what? Closing debtors. So this balancing carried down will be closing debtors. So this is closing debtors. So here any one of the item will be missing, either opening debtors or credit sales or cash received from debtors or closing debtors. If you know the format, we have to draw the format and write all the items and record the amount. If any amount is missing, that would be the balancing figure. So this is the format of total debtors account. Next, if you come to the working note, there may be a chances of working note also. We have to prepare the working note. So first, if we want to know the closing petty cash, so they have given opening petty cash. For that, add sent by the head office. So if any amount on petty cash has been sent by the head office, so we have to add this. Then if there is any amount, that is petty cash amount which is spent by the branch, so deduct this amount, so we'll get the closing petty cash. Clear? So opening, add sent by head office, less expenses spent. Next, we'll get the closing petty cash. In the same way, if you want to know the closing furniture, of course, opening furniture, add purchase, less depreciation. If there is depreciation, less depreciation. So we'll get the closing furniture. So this is how we are going to prepare the working note for it. It is a simple problem where you are going to prepare only one account, that is branch account, but make sure that along with that you will prepare total debtors account as well as this working note relating to, that is calculation of closing petty cash as well as closing assets or closing furniture, that is closing fixed assets. In my next session, we shall take a problem on question paper and we shall solve a problem on branch accounts. So my dear students, in today's session, we have learnt about the basics of branch account. See you all in my next session. Till then, take care. Thank you.